Hello. I'm going to do a video related to the Vault 7 and security on your Windows machine. This can work with other machines also. The first video I'm going to do is related to host file. Um, Now, what a host file does is that, I'll show you later, but first, in your browser, if you want to find this file, you can go to DuckDuckGo.com. Now, DuckDuckGo, just so you know, is a slightly more secure um, web search engine. It's better than Google, definitely, because what Google does is it stores every click you do. So everything you do on the internet, Google is saving that data and compiling big lists of you. So DuckDuckGo, at this point at least, doesn't do that. I don't know if in the future they'll get bought out or they'll get, the deep state will take them over. But at this point, DuckDuckGo doesn't do that. So if you don't want all of your information taken, use DuckDuckGo. So if you type into the into the search box WinHelp 2002, it will take you to, usually the first one that comes up should be blocking unwanted connections with host file. So you can click on that. Now, this is the main page, and actually, if you want to go through and read it, it'll explain the information. But what we'll do here is we'll go to the select tip, how to update host file on Windows 10 and Windows 8. So we'll just click go here, and what you'll see here is it says on Windows 10, the stuff below doesn't apply. Windows 8 it does. So if you have Windows 8, Windows 7, you'll want to follow some of these other instructions. Luckily, if we have Windows 10, all we need to do is go right here and click it to download the host file. So depending on which browser you're using at this moment, you can save as, and I've already saved it here, so yeah, I'll just say save as and say, do you want to replace? All right, it's downloaded. So I'll do open folder. So now I'll open the folder, and I've already done this. So if you want to right click on the zip file, you could do extract all, and what it'll do is extract it to here. So I've already done that. And what you'll see is you'll see the host. So you double click that, and here's the thing. Now you'll notice this is hosts, and it's about 493 kilobytes at this time. So to install this, now remember, if you have Windows 8, you might end up having to do some of this other stuff. But it does explain everything. So here's the next step that we want right here. You go here, you right click MVS mvps.bat, right click, click run as administrator, and then you'll have to say yes here for so it runs. And then there you go. It says the file has been updated and it's been renamed. So you can just press continue. So that's it. So it installed. Now, just for a quick thing, sometimes you'll have to go through and do some other stuff on Windows 8. Windows 8 doesn't like it does some weird stuff with the host file that you can make some changes here, but if you stick with Windows 10, you don't have to worry about any of this stuff, which is pretty good. So let's see, what does that do? I've already opened the host file itself here. So if you look, what the host file does is it takes all these ad trackers and these bad spam sites and all these weird sites, and you'll see that there's a lot of them in here that they found. These are all either virus websites, spam websites, ad websites, or whatever. They're just a bunch of stuff that you don't want. So in other words, when you're browsing, and so what will happen is, what this host file does is it intercepts the address. So like for instance, you put ad at a8.net or ad.a8.net, and that's an ad site. So that's known. That's a bad site. You don't want to go to it. So what happens here is if any website tries to send you to that add.a8.net, it's not gonna go anywhere. Now, the reason why this is much better than even your, well, it's not much better, but it helps your antivirus. See, what happens is your antivirus, um, without this host file blocking all these websites, what would happen is if this was a bad spam site and you clicked on let's say a totally legitimate website, but it had a link pointing to that website, and that website, some of the websites, as soon as you go to them, they'll drop garbage on your thing. They'll put viruses. They'll be like a lot of porno websites. They'll immediately put a nasty Trojan horse inside your thing, a Trojan virus, or I mean, sometimes there's a 0 day, sometimes there's a rootkit, which is stuff that is basically you can't get rid of. Some of the stuff you can't get rid of it without having to reinstall. So what this does is it saves you. Even before you go to the website, it blocks it. And it doesn't really block it. What it does is it associates the IP address with 000, as you can see in this file. So it puts a 000 on all these IP addresses. So anytime you go to these websites, it's going to resolve to 0000, which is nothing. So um, when you're in your browser and you get forwarded or any which way in your browser, or actually the nice thing about the host file is even if your email tried to send you to a website, it's one of these weird websites, it's gonna not go to it. So this host file, the nice thing about the host file is it protects your whole system. And like I said, it helps your antivirus, because what happens is there are some viruses and things that your antivirus may not be able to catch, or maybe a brand new, like a 0 day. What a 0 day is something that they found that's a hole or a exploit or something that the vendor hasn't patched yet, and the antivirus companies haven't patched yet. So any website that has a 0 day on it, um, you're going to be infected because your antivirus is not going to block it. But with this host file, what'll happen is you'll never get to the site, so it'll never be able to put the virus on your thing. So it's one level of protection that everybody should have. Um, Hopefully that was clear, and I'll be doing some other stuff in my next videos about other ways to protect your computer. So thanks, and hope you have a great day.